here again, and today we are continuing the summer of Genesis. We will be reading Genesis chapters 4. We'll be reading and discussing Genesis chapters 4 through 6. So grab your Bibles, open to Genesis chapter 4, and I will start reading. Now Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore a Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from the Lord. Then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. And the Lord respected Abel and his offering, but he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry, and why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. Now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is Abel your brother? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth. And Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth. And it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me. And the Lord said to him, therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. Then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch, and he built a city called he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begot Med, Medjule. Medjule begot Methushel, and Methushel begot Lamech. Then Lamech took for himself 2 wives. The name of one was Edda, and the name of the second was Zillah. And Edda bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in the tents and have livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of those who play the harp and flute. As for Zillah, she also bore Tubal Cain, an instructor of every craftsman in bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal Cain was Nimal. Then Lamech said to his wives, Edda and Zahel, hear my voice, wives of Lamech, sent to my speech, for I have killed a man for wounding me, even a young man for hurting me. Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, then Lamech 70-fold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son, and named him Seth, for God was appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. And as for Seth, to him also a son was born, named him Enosh. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord. Okay. Chapter 2 of Genesis talked about the story of Cain and Abel. The reason why God was honored and respected Abel's offering over Cain's was because Cain, like, his stuff was just kind of like, was just fruit that had been on the ground of his land from plants that he planted. But with Cain, which, like, if it truly came out of the goodness of Cain's heart, that would have been honored and respected as well. But it's implied that it was just kind of stuff that that stuff that was just around, that like he did plant and reap and harvest, but he it was just kind of like stuff that was just there, like just possessions and resources he just had that he could give. In contrast to this, Cain didn't just give like one of his livestock, he gave his first and best sheep, which like if he had a lot of good sheep, like to kind of lessen it, he could have given just one of his sheep, but the passage specifically says that he gave his first and best sheep, which meant that that Cain, by doing this, put his relationship with God in a higher priority than having the best food to either partake of for him and his family themselves, or as far as trading goes. But we also see, even after um, Cain killed Abel, we see God's way of protecting Cain, where he said, "I guess you are exiled, and the land you'll toil is cursed. But anyone who harms or kills you, the vengeance for you will be sevenfold, or like 7 times greater than what was Cain's punishment for killing Abel." And also at the very end, it shows like kind of like the first few generations of Cain's family. Um, and now I think I'm gonna go ahead. We will get started on. Now we are on chapter 5, and I will start reading again. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. He created them male and female, and blessed them and called them mankind. And the day they were created, and Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness after his image, and named him Seth. After he got Seth, the days of Adam were 800 years, and he had sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Seth lived 105 years and begot Enosh. After he begot Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Enosh lived 90 years and begot Canaan. After he begot Canaan, Enosh lived 815 years and his sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905, and he died. Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahala. After he begot Mahala, Canaan lived 840 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. Mahal lived 65 years and begot Jared. After he begot Jared, Mahal lived 830 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahal what lived 833 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel was were 895 years, and he died. Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. After he begot Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Methuselah lived 187 years and begot Lamech. After he begot Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Lamech lived 182 years and had a son, and he called his name Noah, saying, "This one will comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord has cursed." After he begot Noah, Lamech lived 595 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 707 77 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Jehebeth. Um, okay, we're gonna um Enoch. There's some things extra to know about him, and kind of the fact that he didn't die, technically, that he has not died, even though he is no longer on earth, but he is up in heaven. He's in the presence of God right now. He's also the person credited for writing the book of Enoch, which is which, if you've heard flat Earth statement, the book of Enoch talks kind of like weather patterns and what that has to do with like spirituality or like situations as far as sin goes. And the only other person besides Enoch to have not technically died but was instead brought up to heaven by God and is currently in the presence of God, even though they didn't technically die, was the prophet Elijah. He was around during the if you've heard about we'll talk about this stuff later, but if you're kind if you know and if you've studied the kings of Israel and Judah, like kings and queens of Israel and Judah, he was God's main prophet that he used to speak to Israel and Judah during the reign of around the times of Josaphat's reign, being as king in Judah, as I can't quite remember the king of Israel at the time, but this was the time period of Jezebel, like being the queen of Israel, and due to what Elijah was saying and what he was trying to teach, um, he he would get in many fights, such as him confronting the prophets of Baal and the contest of the burnt offerings and stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading the last chapter for today and discuss that. We won't get through the entirety of the story of Noah in this video, but we will we will have started it. We will finish. We will finish the story of Noah this week. When we read through chapters 8, 9, and 10. I mean, 7, 8, and 9. So then, so with that being said, I'm gonna start reading chapter 6. If there's stuff you want to talk about and or have questions about, feel free to leave them down in the comments, or if you have Discord, there is a link on the about page on my YouTube channel homepage that you can access. I'm thinking about trying to figure out the premiering system so that we can have a conversation in the chat, in a live chat, while watching and listening to the video. I will make announcements ahead of time once I've worked that out. But yeah, I am I'm gonna start reading now. Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born to them, that the sons of God, the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive I with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Then the Lord, I saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of those of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing, and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah pleased. Oh, sorry, that was section title again. I'm gonna. I got distracted. This is the genealogy of Noah. Was a just man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with God, and Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, the earth was filled with violence. So God looked up the earth. Indeed, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of copper wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it lowers with lower second and third decks. And behold, I myself am bringing flood waters on the earth to destroy from under heaven all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you, and of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring two of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and every creeping thing of the earth after its kind. Two of every kind will come to you to keep them alive, and you shall take for yourself of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. Thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him. So he did. I guess the destruction that takes place here, we don't have to face the same destruction through Jesus' atonement for sins, like the death on the cross. Jesus did that as a way of atonement for all sins that had ever and will ever be committed. And we see God's mercy through protecting and preserving humanity through Noah and his family, who were viewed as good and faithful to him, as well as preserving the animals by having him store two animals of each kind, male and a female, so they would be able to reproduce. and repopulate. And we will finish the rest of the story of Noah in about 2 days. The plan is for for next Summer of Genesis video to come out, to be up next, come out this Thursday. And there will be a ministry review up this will be up tomorrow. And with that being said, may God be with you, and see you next time. Bye.